Okay, let's recap on input in Python. So Python comes with an inbuilt function called input, and you can use it not only to get some input from the user, but as part of getting input from the user, you can sort of prompt them and give them a message as part of that input. So for example, if I wanted to get someone's age, I would first print out what is your age, and then I'd read in the input. Or if I wanted to get someone's name, I might print out what is your name, and then I'd read the resulting input from that. So the input function does just that. So previously we looked at a simple script that was calculating how many years until retirement age. So I've modified that script slightly. So again, we have a variable called retirement age, and I've put it equal to 65. This time I'm going to ask the user to input in their current age. So again, I have a variable called current age on line 7, but I'm not putting it equal to a value. Instead, I'm putting it equal to whatever this function gives me back. So a function is like a command. So again, I'm this piece of code that I've highlighted here is essentially asking Python, will you please ask the user what age they are, and will you get the input and of what they type in and store it in this variable called current age. So when we run this program, when the computer gets to this line, we'll see the text, what age are you appearing. I will type in 31 and I'll hit return, I'll hit the enter key. And then the value that I typed in, 31 in this example, will be stored in the variable current age. Now, one thing you have to remember when you're collecting input from a user like this is that even if the user types in a number, it's always given back to the program as a set of characters. And that's to allow the person to type in things other than numbers. So for example, you could ask a person, what is your name? And they type in John, for example. So in that case, it's a set of characters, like the J, the O, the H, and the N characters. It's a string. So when you type in, you ask someone what is your age, and they type in 34, well, what you actually get back are the characters 3 and 4, not the number 34. Now, that can often be sort of a difficult concept to get your head around initially. So you have the characters and the numbers. So when we ask someone for their age, and let's, for argument's sake, say they type in 34, you get the string 34 coming back. So the character is 34. So current age doesn't hold a number now, but it holds the string, the characters 3 and 4. So I want to do a mathematical calculation on this current age. You see down here, for example, on line 15, I want to take the retirement age and subtract the current age from it. Now, if the retirement age is equal to a number, 65, and I try to subtract something that's not a number from it, well, the computer is going to complain, Python is going to complain. It would be, for all intents and purposes, like me trying to subtract the word John from the number 100. It just doesn't make sense. So in current age, when I've asked the user to input what age they are, and let's, for argument's sake, say that they have typed in 34. So the word 34, the characters 34 are stored in current age. Now, if I try and subtract that word 34 from the number that's stored in retirement age, 65, well, then I'll get an error. So I have to convert that that character, that string, to a number. And to be more specific about it, I actually have to convert it to an integer number, because that's what I know it is. And an integer number is a whole number, positive or negative. So it's a number that doesn't have a decimal point. So I'm essentially I'm using this function called int, which is this is the third inbuilt function we've come across in Python now. So the first one being print, the second one being input, and now we have int. So you take the int function, again, a function is like a command, you give it a string of characters, and it will return you the number for that character. So I give it the string 34, it will give me back the number 34. So now the variable, which used to store the string 34, I have now overridden it. I have changed it to store the number 34. Now, of course, this doesn't always work. If I was to try and pass in, a string John, for example, and I was trying to convert the string John to a number, well, then you get an error. It wouldn't work. But in this particular example, it will hopefully work because I'm expecting the person to type in a number because it is their age I've asked for. So I've taken in their age, I've converted it to a number, and then off I go and I print out a message. The following is the number of years until your retirement. I do a little mathematical calculation. I store the answer in years to retirement, and then I print out the result. So off we go. Let me run this. And here you see it. You see, this time it's asking me, what is your age? And the program has now stopped. It's sort of almost stuck on line 7, and it's waiting for me to input something. So I'm going to type in 34, the character is 34, and I hit enter, the return key. And the minute I hit enter, the 34 gets converted to the number 34, and then the mathematical calculation occurs, and then it prints out the answer. The following is the number of years until your retirement, 31. So there you go. There's a simple example of how to use input in Python, something that's very, very useful.